WESCO Studios in Oklahoma City. This is OSU Football with Brandon Chapman. I'm Jenny Carlson. Brandon, the calendar has turned to 2011, so why don't we do the same thing with Oklahoma State football? Lots to come for the Cowboys in the next couple weeks. Offensive coordinator being named, potential NFL decisions. Let's start with the offensive coordinator. What's your feeling on the latest with this position? How long is it going to take, and who are the front runners right now?
Well, I think Coach Gundy is looking at taking maybe a week or so. I think he wants to make sure he's able to sit down with some of the guys internally, guys like Doug Meacham, Gunnar Brewer, Robert Gillespie, even Joe Wickline if he's interested. He wants to sit down with those guys, get a feel for how they understand the offense and get a feel for if they're able to kind of take over. And then obviously you have some outside candidates like Mike Leach has been thrown out there. Lincoln Riley's another name that's been thrown out there. So there's some candidates outside the program as well. So I think Coach Gundy will probably take a week or two, kind of figure out what he wants to do and then go from there.
Do you feel like it's a decision that'll be made in advance of the NFL draft decision? That's January 15th. You think we'll have a decision on offensive coordinator before that?
I think it'll be right around that area. I would be surprised if it goes into late January. I think mid-January is about the time you want to kind of make that decision, because you still have recruits to worry about. You still have little things like that where guys who might be coming in next year want to figure out what exactly is going on with the offense and how they fit into the offense before things start moving forward and before those recruits sign their name on the dotted line.
Well, a couple guys that'll be looking at this offensive coordinator situation pretty closely, obviously, Justin Blackmon, Brandon Weeden. Let's start with Blackmon. He seems like he's a guy that's turning lots of heads, is probably first-round talent. Where he falls in the draft is up in the air. What's your feeling on his chances of staying and going? What's going to play into that decision for him?
I think it's a big time decision for Blackmon. I mean, he's a guy who looks like he's a first round NFL talent. I think everybody kind of feels like he's a guy who could end up in the first round. But the thing for him is he has to decide the NFL labor agreement, how that's going to work in his decision. He has to think about that. He has to think about the fact there's some guys potentially ranked ahead of him that could make him fall. Could potentially cost him, $5-6 million if he falls farther in the draft than he's expected to. So he has to put those things in mind and go forward and make a smart decision. But we do know that for the most part, it seems like all NFL scouts, all NFL draft analysts, if you say, kind of feel like Justin Blackmon is a first-round pick. So if he returns to OSU, it's because he wants to play at OSU.
What about Brandon Weeden? Obviously a little bit of different situation with him being an older guy, not necessarily seen as a first-round type of guy. How does this draft decision play out for Brandon Weeden?
I think for Brandon Weeden, obviously he still has a decision to make. He has plenty of physical talent, but I think he's been kind of pushed into that system quarterback label, which is a concern for all quarterbacks that are in the air raid type attack. And I think he's kind of been put into that system. So what might be good for him is to return, get some more game film, get some more tape out there so NFL scouts can kind of get a feel for, hey, this guy isn't just a system quarterback. He has a great arm. He has some accuracy. He's able to make some good decisions. So I think for him it might be a good idea to come back, but you never know how the NFL scouts will say he's done and how his NFL evaluation will come back. So if that comes back a little bit higher than expected, he might be a guy who does consider leaving.
Season's over, but still a lot to come. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.